Welcome to A Mindful Look Back with Mark, re-examining some of our favorite TV moments.
So for today's look back, I want to examine Steve Urkel's relationship with Laura Winslow. We remember the first time that we ever saw Steve Urkel on Family Matters. I believe it was an episode where Laura did not have a date for the dance, and then her father, Carl, was trying to help her out. So he tried to pull some favors and get her a date to go to the dance. And the date was the next door neighbor who's always available and is madly in love with her, Steve Urkel. And then she kind of got her own date, and then it was a whole mess. You know how the whole TV family sitcom thing goes. But I wanted to just talk about this for a minute because I feel a way about Laura Winslow. Steve had a perfectly good girl in front of him, Myra. Rest in peace to the actress who played Myra. She was brilliant. She was beautiful. She was madly in love with him. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it doesn't go that way. A lot of times we end up loving people who don't love us back and vice versa. However, this is the reason why the Laura Winslow and Steve Urkel thing particularly grinds my gears. Steve was next door this whole time. He was always there for her. When she had guy problems, he was there for her. When anything was going wrong in her life, he was there. He was default guy, despite the fact that she would tell him how much she does not want to be with him, how much he disgusts her. She doesn't like the way he looks. She doesn't like the way he dresses. He's a nerd. All these different things that she didn't like about him. But he was always there for her, and he loved her unconditionally. And I'm not saying that she had to love him. Here's my problem. She only started looking at Steve as a love interest once he started to become Stefan Urkel. And when he became Stefan Urkel, he was the same guy. He had the same essence. He had the same look. Well, I'm not going to say the same essence because Stefan was kind of a ladies' man and a jerk sometimes, even though he started to get better over time. But basically, she's looking at the exact same person that she had such disdain for. And because pulls off the suspenders, lowers his voice and talks cool and calls her a sweet thing, all of a sudden, she has some kind of an interest in the guy. Laura was shallow. Laura didn't deserve Steve Urkel. Nowadays, Steve Urkel would be the cool one because the nerds rule the world in 2023. But back then, when that show was going on in the 80s and 90s, Steve was uncool. He was a nerd. I mean, he had his moments. I remember when everyone was doing the Urkel dance at the dance. And, you know, sometimes he was cool every once in a while. But Stefan Urkel was the one that everyone was going after. And the thing is, Laura knew him for so long. And she didn't see any of the good parts of him, his heart, and the fact that he was a very nice guy. He was always there for her. He was good to people. She always went for the cool guys, and she started to like him when he became a cool guy with the potion, and then once he got the transformation chamber. Matter of fact, let's take a look.
We'll make a movie. Cool. Oh, we can go on and drink then, and then I'll show you my toothpaste that turns me into damn Jess. Steve, is that stuff safe? Who knows? Steve. Hired a Steve Urkel, were you? Wanted someone better, did you? Someone cool. Well, through the teeth, over the gums, look out, stomach, here it comes. Steve, stop! Ew. Cool things taste like Snapple. Steve! Steve? Steve. Steve. Steve who? Urkel. You. No. There is no Steve here. I'm Stefan, sweet thing. Stefan Urkel. Stefan Urkel.
Look at her face, man. Ooh, this lady is shallow. Woo, this lady is shallow. Ladies and gentlemen, exhibit B. Okay, so this is after Steve broke up with his perfectly amazing girl, Myra, to be with the girl that he was pining after all these years that rejected him time and time again.
What the heck, a clear path through the jungle of love. From your heart to my hood. Steve, did you have wine with dinner? If you're asking whether or not I'm intoxicated, the answer is yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes. I'm drunk on you, baby. Love me like I love you. Come here.
So once again, I'm not sold on this love affair because he was always in love with her. And I know you could say, oh, maybe somewhere deep down inside, she always loved him too. And it was romantic how she came around after all these years to finally realizing I'm in love with Steve Urkel. Steve Urkel should have moved on a long time ago. Steve Urkel was cool how he was. And for anyone watching this out there from this era that is not from that era, and you're looking at that video and you're like, if I act cool enough, eventually I'm going to get the girl of my dreams. You don't need a potion. You don't need a machine. If she doesn't love you for the person that you are, unfiltered, unchanging, then she's not worth your time. Laura Winslow, you did not deserve Stephen Urkel. You deserved Stefan. Not Stefan that he transformed himself into, but the Stefan that you were looking for, that type of guy who would have used you and done whatever like all the other guys did. That's who you deserved. That's my opinion. Let me know in the comments. What did you think of the Steve and Laura romance? Romantic, organic? You agree with me? Disagree with me? Let me know. Thanks for joining me on this next Mindful Look Back. And also, let me know who you want to see me dissect next. Have a great one, y'all. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content.